Welcome to Tsarian Entertainment. That's just the working title. Now you might be wondering, what the hell does Tsarian Entertainment mean? Well, without going off on a massive ramble and boring you to tears, basically I feel that the issues that we've got to deal with as a civilization, as a people, as a race, depends on going back in time, sort of. Going back in time to when things were a bit more normal and when we had leaders and people who cared for those under them in the positions they were in, and that the society in general was more benevolent to Europeans, to people of European descent, at home in Europe and abroad. So with that in mind, I cast my mind back to the beginning of the last century, when there was a dynasty of people called the Romanovs in Russia. And this was a royal family that, as far as I can tell, have been the last royal family to actively oppose what some would call the New World Order, or the Hidden Hand, or I just like to call them globalist slime that basically want to make the world one big slave camp, with Europeans as the number one target right now. So I chose Tsar and Tsarian with that in mind, and entertainment speaks for itself, although I might even change that. So anyway, that's just a little ramble on the channel introduction. Politically, I consider myself alt-right, although as a nationalist, this is quite a complex, murky world. It crosses over into white nationalism, it crosses over into anarcho-capitalist, alt-right, nihilist people who know there's something wrong, don't want to be right-wing, traditional or neocon, they want to be an alternate to the right-wing. For me, I consider myself an aristocratic nationalist if someone put a gun to my head and said, what are you ideologically? So that's where I am right now with my prism and how I see the world. And I think it's a fairly accurate way I see the world, personally. Anyway, so that's a bit about who I am, what I am, and the channel introduction. I'm broadcasting this message from probably the last country on earth where free speech it exists and you won't be arrested for speaking your mind. Although even here, they're trying to... The forces that are arrayed against Western civilization want to take that right away. But I broadcast to you from the mist-shrouded valleys of the Pacific Northwest. The people of good yeoman stock still live here. I believe one nationalist called them tomb-fisted ranchers, tillers of the fields. But that's where I am right now. And I hope to educate, enlighten, and speak my thoughts and views and possible solutions to the issues of the day. So while you might not be getting traditional entertainment in the guise of the trashy bread and circuses you get on nearly all TV these days, you will get somebody who's been around the world and has seen what is the reality and not what the liberal delusion is they'll have you believe about the state of play in Western civilization. You might be wondering why there's a battle rifle here. Well, there's a few reasons for it, but basically it's to emphasize the fact that if you don't have the power to bear arms, you are very close to being a subject, citizen, and at worst, as basically a slave with privileges. And when you have the right to own weaponry of this magnitude, which is a battle rifle, semi-automatic, it's not full auto as the liberals would have you believe all weaponry of this looks are capable of. However, the right to bear arms is something that will keep a nation a lot more free than other nations are. And I know some people will argue about this to the ends of their life, saying that, oh no, it's okay, we've got someone to protect us, we don't need these. But trust me, at the end of the day, you can only rely on yourself and those around you for protection in dark times. Again, I speak from experience. I was in a war zone and I know what it's like when this sort of thing goes down. So that's the reason for this wonderful piece of European technology appearing before you with myself. And why this camouflage jacket, which evokes so much response from the liberals. As soon as they hear something about anyone with camouflage on, it's automatically evil white guy. You know how they think. There's a few reasons for it. First of all, I think camouflage is pretty much fashion-proof. But no, the biggest reason I wear this before you now is because I earned the right to wear this. I served in the military for over 5 years, and if that doesn't earn me the right to wear camouflage, I don't know what does. Not that I have anything against people who wear camouflage who haven't served in the military, but it's just, for me, it's just a statement that, I did serve militarily. And that's another reason why I don't wear the hunter camouflage as well, for that reason, partly for that reason. So that's what you see before you now. This is just going to be a series of videos and responses to things that take place. I hope to get this video out all over the place. It's not easy nowadays because the internet is a lot bigger now, and it's a lot harder to get channels broadcast out into the world and things like this. But I'll be going on various areas to try and spread the word, get a following. I might get an angle from my other side channels, because I've got a few guises on YouTube that I use, and I might just try and bring some guys in over from there for them to listen and comment on things. This isn't going to be a big channel. If it does get big, it gets big. If it doesn't, it stays small, it stays small. I'm not bothered. It's just how it is. So, I don't know, I haven't thought of a nice, cool outro to make like some folks have. I know that some people have nice, catchy little catchphrases that they use as their little closing statement. All I'll say is Europa Infinitus.